growing your own food can be very rewarding. As we all know, NAMBOP really kind of brings that home. But summer planting is hard work.
Now on this week's What's Growing with Tom, Chief Meteorologist Tom O'Hare explains what you need for a successful plot and how you can make the experience a whole lot easier. Let's check it out.
Welcome back to Northern Michigan. Justin Morgan from Morgan Composting joining me again. And we're in the middle of July, but we're talking about hunting season, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're thinking fall weather. Like, no, it's summer. We got to enjoy the summer, but we got to think about hunting season and taking care of course, what you see here, our food plot. So what we got going on here, Justin?
So all of us hunters are getting geared up. Now's the time. I really like planting in the July to the first week of August. I think that's really good for the brassicas and stuff. The deer like that young, tender stuff.
All right. Now, I'm sure you've taken care of the plot here for a while. What is a key thing for any new person taking care of their plot? I mean, the soil is pretty important, right?
Yeah, number one thing is soil. So over here we have, where we would start is the pH. I always start with pH because most of our seeds like 6.2 to 7. That's that neutral pH that the seeds like. Before fertility, always start with pH.
And the thing about our soils, I mean, they're so sandy for the most part. They're very acidic, aren't they?
They are, yep. And a lot of times, like you can see, I have pine trees around here, or if you have ferns, that's acidic soil typically. So make sure we balance it, but make sure you balance it and don't go too high.
All right, so first thing we're going to put down is more lime.
That's right, the more lime we're going to put down to balance it. And then after that, it's the fertilizer, right? There's a lot of fertilizers on the market for food plot that are salt-based. So what they do is you put salt and water together, it runs through our low organic, soils, and then it doesn't hold into where we want the nutrient for our plants.
All right, show us the stuff you got in here, the food plot too.
Yeah, the food plot too, it's based out of like dairy dew's in there, chicken manure's in there, and it has humates from North Dakota.
Okay.
So there's a lot of good nutrients in there, and it's all based to help build that organic matter.
And the fact it's very dry, so easy to spread.
Easy to spread. It goes through a drop spreader, cone spreader, and easy to do.
All right, so that's the first step. This guy and this guy for this plot, right?
That's right. And then also what we focus on is minerals. Deer love minerals. So it has extra calcium in there for bone growth and everything else that we put in there to help maximize the plant's minerals to get into the body of our deer and does and fawns.
What's the next step after putting down the lime and the food plot here?
Yeah, after we put that down, we want to take the tiller, the tractor here, and we want to rotate that in. We want to incorporate it with the soil where the roots are going to be and where they're going to eventually go. We're going to help build that soil and that mineral.
Justin, I mean, you got it all tilled up, but here's the thing. Most of us don't have tractors like that. Do you? I mean, I don't.
Right.
I don't think most people do.
Right. So, yeah, a couple different options. We have the Plot Master that will go behind the buggy. We've showed that in the years past.
Yep.
And then also like a normal disc, too. You could pull that around or any way to just bust up that sod and maybe have to go over it more than one time, obviously, until it does it first time. But those disc and other rippers will just give it some time and work the soil.
Yeah, because we know this soil right now is very wet from recent rain. Others are super dry. I mean, you got to make sure it's dug up a couple inches at least, right?
Yep, just break them weeds up a little bit so you chop them down, and then you can give your seed a fighting chance.
In which, of course, we got to put down some seed, right? A couple options here right now. But, that's for next week, right?
Next week. Time to seed.
Time to seed next week with the food plot. Stay tuned for those details. Again, next week.